Welcome, everybody, to the greatest show where I get to show up the greatest people and have way too much fun doing it. My special guest today is Alesha. Oh man, now I messed it up. Teitzel.
You got it. That's me.
I'm so grateful to have you on. I'm so excited about our conversation today. The title, we were just talking before we got on the show how it makes us giggle. Round pegs don't fit into square holes, and what if it's not wrong? So in speaking to that topic and playing with this conversation, one thing that was popping for me is where us as facilitators, you're an Access Certified Consciousness Facilitator, I am as well, and we get to actually have the pleasure of working with people, getting them to look at these places where they have definitely decided that they're wrong, and then flipping it to the discovery of how strong they are, how capable they are, how amazing they are. And I thought we could leap off that today, and maybe you could talk about a little bit about where have you really noticed this, and even in your own personal life where there's been something that's been wrong and then you've seen the strong in it.
Great question. Where do I start? Only about everything. And the inspiration for this show, I was actually facilitating, and I got the inspiration to talk about this in particular, and it's about how I create, which I've always thought is so wrong. In the way that I create and how I create and co-create with other people. And I've been exploring this a lot for the last 12 months in how I create, and things are becoming way, way, way more easier the more that I acknowledge how different I am and how different we can be. Not all round pegs fit in square holes, and not all square pegs fit in round holes, So
yeah. Could
Cassy,
you share with us?
Yeah.
So share with us an example of this creation piece where people could look and be like, oh yeah. So how do you create differently that you were judging as wrong and then started to get to the acknowledgement of the strength of it?
Yeah, thank you for asking. Basically, I was looking at doing one thing at a time. One thing to completion, I'm just going to focus on this. I'm going to focus on this topic, and I'm going to work it through until completion. And then when I'm finished that one, I'm going to move on to the next one. And guess what happened? Nothing got finished.
So much fun.
Oh, I had way too much fun. I was so excited about all of these projects that I would not procrastinate like a crazy person. And so now, fast forward, after looking at this for some time, if I add more things to my world, if I add more things to what I'm creating, I know it sounds back to front, but if everything is the opposite, and we just try it for a little bit, what if we keep adding things to see what that creates? Now I have to have at least 20, 30 things going on at the same time. I'm not talking about projects that I consecutively finish one after the other. I'm talking about, I have 100 tabs open on my laptop right now, and oftentimes I have a second laptop there, and I have earphones on, and I'm listening to music while I'm typing out something and working on those 20 projects. And then I've also got my notepad because I'm having awarenesses and questions that I'm asking for myself. And I've got my phone, and I'm listening to an audio, and I'm probably generally watching TV as well. And just, adding more and more and more. And it's this game space now where I'm like, well, how many things can I add?
That's such an amazing example, because this is such where maybe some of the listeners have been like, oh my God, I can never get something accomplished, or I'm always procrastinating, where they've been like, maybe I just don't know how to create. Maybe I'm a terrible creator. Maybe I have no capacity in this area, where it's something completely like off here that you wouldn't have considered, that maybe you're such a phenomenal creator, you require more things. And that is a strength. That is a huge capacity. Thank you for that example. Wow. So I kind of get, we want to dive into X-Men right away here, because we're talking a lot about these capacities. So would you share with our listeners, what is an X-Men? Where does it come from, and kind of what's your history with it? Go.
I love how X-Men ask 10 questions all at once, and I'm like, okay, find the thread to focus on to give you the information that you're asking for. Okay, Access X-Men. It's this incredible topic, specialty that we have within Access Consciousness, and it looks at those that have been labeled as disabled and different and autistic and OCD and all of these labels and definitions that we have in this reality, and flips it on its head, and we look at what's the ability in this, what's the strongness in this, rather than what's the wrongness in the disability. And I've been playing with this specialty for over 12 months with a number of facilitators and taking lots and lots of classes, and never really knew that I was an X-Men. Certainly didn't go, my parents didn't take me to the doctor and have that diagnosis in this sort of reality that we're in. And I thought everybody else around me was the same as me and normal, and that we all created the same way, and that, you know, while at the same time looking at myself and going, what's wrong with me? I don't, this doesn't work. This, you know, I've had like 30 jobs. I mean, that's probably like one a year, because yeah, maybe even more. You know, and what else did you ask? What else can I share with you?
Yeah, what could you share? So this is amazing. So there's a whole Access Consciousness specialty called X-Men, and we'll put information to that as well in the description. So you started to, take these classes, you started to learn more about X-Men. What is there some things you could share of where you gave us the example of creation, but either people you've worked with or yourself personally, where you're like, oh, wait a minute, that's just an X-Men capacity that I am labeling as a disability right now?
Mm. Yeah. Well, this one's great, and this is probably the most common thing that people come and see me for, and it's and the one that I'm still playing with a lot, and that is this awareness that we have of everything that's going on around us. This what people would call probably hypersensitivity in this reality. It's a really it's present in my world, and in the clients that I have in their world as well. They come and they're asking about, how can I turn this off? I'm so aware of everything. And oftentimes they're thinking that it's all theirs. And so we talk about, is it mine? Is it someone else's? Or are you aware of something? And I use the question a lot, what are you perceiving? Rather than, is it mine? Is it somebody else's? What are you perceiving? Seems to be more of a space that allows the awareness to come through of what people are, what we're receiving, and once we start acknowledging that, the awareness that we have, that superpower and expanding into that, and it creates so much ease. It creates so much ease for them and for me and for their living.
That's beautiful. Yeah, it's really interesting to be able to look at something that you think is wrong with you, and then what are you perceiving actually like pulls it out here, so it's not like in here.
Exactly. Exactly.
So how many so let how much would you say are people dynamically trying to make themselves fit rather than yeah. Okay, that much. And so what would you I would love for you to share maybe some tools or some beginner steps of those people that have they've committed their lives to like, I'm gonna make myself fit no matter what, I'm gonna do this, and they've just failed. And maybe they're going, okay, what else is possible? Like what what would you invite them to, or what tools would you give them to start changing that and maybe choosing something different for themselves?
Cool question. Wow. I mean, there's loads of great content out there that you can watch about this as well, and um, like Dr. Dane's Tour of Consciousness, I love to share that with people. It's such a great place to start to really look at what works for you and what's fun for you, and all of the things. And I generally start in the place of acknowledgement is a superpower. So what's right about me that I'm not getting? Just everything that you think is wrong or that's up in your world that is a problem. What's right about me I'm not getting here? What's right about this, that I'm not acknowledging? And then from a place of curiosity, not from a place of trying to figure it out, from a place of curiosity. So what's right about this? What's right about me? Is it's the opposite of what it appears to be, which is another great tool that you can use. Can I share that tool? Everything is the
Yes.
opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. It's this phrase that we call it the crazy phrase in Access Consciousness. It's the phrase that gets you out of your head. So if you think a lot, and if you've got a lot going on up there, and it's flip-flopping around, it's one of my favorite tools to work with. Everything is the opposite of what it appears to be, and nothing is the opposite of what it appears to be. And if you repeat that 20 times, you'll find that your mind will stop buzzing. You'll have more space and more peace in your world. And there's another great tool. Expanding. We should have started there. That's the one.
Share it. How do you do it? How does it
Okay.
work?
So getting onto this call, I was super aware, and what I do frequently in my world, in my life, in my living, in my day to day, every moment that I think about it is I get a sense of the space I'm being, or is my space contracted, or is it really open and expansive? What often happens with X-Men is they're so aware of things that they want to shut down and get smaller and close everything out and lock everything, get it away from me. So we become contracted and smaller, and it's intense. So it's like, how can I get smaller and get away from this intensity? Looking at if everything is the opposite of what it appears to be when you expand, which is just taking that energy that you're aware of, that space that you're being, and go bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and see if you can go bigger than your house, bigger than the block you're in, bigger than the city that you're in, and go crazy, go out to the earth, go beyond the earth. How much space can you expand into? And see what happens then. Play with that tool. See if things become easier in your world. And that intensity may or may not diminish. You play with it. Find out what works for you.
Oh, I love it. And I love looking at this like flipping something. Everything is opposite it appears to be. That taking that, okay, this is where I'm clearly wrong. I'm clearly failing here. And what if it's the opposite? What if there's something that is really great about you, or something that is really possible? Or, oh my God, there's so much going on. I just need to get as small as possible. But really, like, actually getting as big as you can is going to create the ease. These are fabulous tools for people to start playing with and looking at where do we want to apply those in our lives, and what if every wrongness of you right now, if you looked at what's wrong with you, there was a strength in there, a strongness, a capacity in there that you could actually be using to create a greater life and living with. Can you, Alesha, can you share with us some of where you've actually used some of these capacities to create a greater living for yourself?
Well, there really is no separation between then and now. It's just more of us stepping into being me. And every day I'm asking, what capacity is this? What strongness is this? What greatness is this? For every energy. It's all energy. And I don't get a distinct space of this is using this particular ability. It's it all contributes. And
Right.
So that awareness piece that I was talking about, when we're so aware, if it wasn't a wrongness and I use this to my advantage, what am I aware of here? What am I aware of that's going to be playing out for the rest of the day? What am I aware of that's going to happen, in the next meeting? The energies are there. And when we come out of resistance and reaction to it, and it being a wrongness, and we start to look at what's right about it, what's strong about it, then the awareness comes in about futures, about everything. So
what you're saying is that you can tell the future. That's a pretty cool capacity. But also, so if you looked at this extreme awareness, what capacities does that give you to facilitate?
What capacities does it give us to facilitate, Cassy?
So where, and such a great example. So someone going, oh my God, I want to shut down. But really, if you're willing to have that be a gift, not only to yourself, but to other people. So you as a facilitator, you're facilitating a class. Well, your awareness spans beyond someone who is shutting down that awareness, trying to control and trying to fit in. How cool is that?
How cool is that?
All right. So we're getting to the game very soon. And I'm very excited about this game that we're going to end the call in. But first, I wanted just to acknowledge you as a brilliant X-Men, as a brilliant facilitator, as a brilliant creator. I want to invite anyone, if you would like to have any more with Alesha, engage with her, learn from all of the amazing tools that she has available, please check her out. We're going to have links in the description where you can go and check out all the things. Is there anything else you'd like to say to anyone listening that maybe they're making themselves wrong, maybe they are trying to fit where they don't fit? What would you say to them?
What if you're not as fucked up as you think you are? And what if everything that this world and this life and this reality and this place that we're living in, that tells us is wrong is actually the greatest capacity that we have. Stop playing with that.
Love it. It's like, we can all relax now, guys. We're not fucked up. It's good.
Oh, good. We're allowed to swear. You said it too.
Yeah, I think so. I think swearing can add to a show. So, okay, we're gonna play our game, and this is the first time we played this game on the show, so we're experimenting a little bit. We crafted for you all the oxymoron game. So we know that oxymoron is when you have kind of contradictory things coming together, and we thought this would play well with the trying to make things fit that don't fit. So those of you that are extremely aware, you are probably never going to be good at the things that require you to have no awareness. And those of you that are brilliant at OCD and can find every little spelling area, you probably won't be good at the things that require you to read really poorly written stuff. And what if that is a strongness? Okay, so here's how the game's gonna work. So we are going to we're gonna display a photo on the screen, and you'll be able to hear us. And so Alesha's going to go first because the guest always goes first here on the show. We know that. So she's going to have 5 photos, and scrolling along on the bar is going to be her answers. And she has to match her answers to the photos, but it's probably not what you're going to think it's going to be because these are so bizarre. And I was actually sharing with Alesha before the show when me and my producer were crafting these, and I don't know all of them. Just because I have my own 5, I don't know all of them. But when we were crafting these, I was like, wow, this is really what it feels like for an X-Men to be walking around the world. Like, this doesn't make sense. These things don't go together. So we're going to have maybe too much fun right now. Let the games begin. All right. Do you see it, Alesha? So here's your answers below. What could it possibly say in that blanked out spot?
Secret. You know what's going on for me, right? You know how the X-Men brain works. Everything is visual. So I'm reading this and I'm looking at the pictures that it brings up in my head. Trying to imagine the words, and I'm like, pick up hitchhikers. So I've put pictures to every single one of those words.
Perfect. So we have a sign that clearly says do not enter, and then we have blank only. Secrets so only. Obviously secrets only. All right, let's see what's the answer.
Oh, that doesn't
it makes no sense. It's so awesome. Why are these signs together? Don't ask why, guys. Don't even bother. It just is. All right, let's see the next one.
Is this for me?
This is for you, you guys. This is for you.
Oh God! Pick up hitchhikers. No, it's too long. Okay. I'll send no. Secret bunker, because that would be cool, and I'd definitely go there.
Let's see the answer. It is. They've labeled their secret bunker so everyone can find it. Because of course you're going to label your secret. Let's see the next one. This is awesome. Death Valley.
Oh, health center.
Let's see the answer. The Death Valley Health Center. Now we're rocking. Let's see the next one.
Tell me, Cass, would you go there? Would you go to
I would know. I'm gonna vote no on that one for myself personally.
Illiterate.
Literate question mark?
Right for free help. Right for free help.
Let's see the answer.
Because
Yeah, I was snort laughing. I was like,
no muting.
if they're illiterate, they're not gonna write for free help. Not.
Is illiterate part of like you can't write or you can't read? I mean, what's the point of having an illiterate sign if you can't read? But I think now
Really
you had the greatest show up there. Illiterate, the greatest show for free help. Sorry. Let's just.
Okay, let's do the next one.
Well, the process of elimination. Now I know what's next. State prison next exit. Do not pick up hitchhikers.
Let's do the answer. Correct. And now this one I think is just good advice.
Unless it's probing time. Because that's a hitchhiker, Anyway, maybe people haven't seen that movie and just
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or something.
No, it wasn't that movie. It was with the alien that's a donut. It's like it's probing time with the donut. Oh, never mind. Hitchhiker's Guide.
Okay. Yeah, no, I like the other one. We've got some movies to watch. Okay, that was awesome.
It's your turn.
It's my turn. All right. Let's see. The blue button is true. The red button is.
I totally read that. The blue button. I read that as the red button, and then I read that as the blue button. Now back to front. Thanks for reading it out. No.
You're welcome. All right, I'm gonna use. Okay, is false. It makes no sense, but I love it.
But you know what? Somewhere in the world, someone made those buttons.
They did. Good for them. This reminds me of the movie The Labyrinth, when the guy's like, "What you need to know about this guy is he always lies," and this guy's like, "They always tell the truth." And you're the whole time I'm like super confused about what's going on. But she went and she chose her door. So you guys know, the blue button is true and the red button is false. Let's see the next one. Okay, something allowed. All pets must be on a leash. Okay.
Cassy allowed.
The greatest show is allowed, but all pets must be on a leash. Okay. Well, if this is an oxymoron, then I'm gonna have to guess that no pets allowed. And then, oh gosh. And then this sign underneath this is this, guys, do you see why we don't fit in this world? Because there's songs like these.
Cheers for the intelligence.
Okay, let's see the next one. New Hope.
That way to Star Wars.
Keep moving. New Hope, keep moving. No, that would make sense. New Hope in stone, New Hope dead end. New Hope, keep moving. New Hope dead end, New Hope in stone. I'm going to say, well, if it was an oxymoron, dead end is really stupid. So that one.
That is so good.
So good.
Everybody wants to go down and get their new hope in the dead end.
Dead end. It's a dead end, guys. But there is the New Hope Road. All right, let's see the next one. I only have 2 more answers. Stop. So that could say in stone, or that could say keep moving. Well, an oxymoron would be keep moving, because that's ridiculous to tell someone to stop and then tell someone to keep moving at the exact same time. That's my final answer. Keep moving. How do people drive anywhere? What is it? How do
I'm wondering if we can have home play for the watchers, and that's that if they find some of these happy joy signs as they're driving around.
they send them in? Yes, this is a great idea, Alesha. All right, let's see the last one. Nothing is written. Only answer left is in stone, but that is a stone block, my friends.
That's a grave marker.
Nothing is written in stone except for this.
I reckon that guy was funny.
I think so too. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's just like, my mind's a little bit blown by the stupidity, but the joy that that created for me, and hopefully for you.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. Thank you so much, Alesha, for being here and exploring this topic. It was a huge contribution to me, and I'm guessing it was and will be for a lot of other people. So thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. I adore you. And everyone watching, thank you so much. And we'll see you next week on The Greatest Show. Bye for now.